Hello. In this practice, if you have a couple of blocks, they may come in handy, but I'll always offer you alternatives if you do not have blocks. So all you really need is a yoga mat. Today we're going to start on our backs. So lay on your back with your feet flat on the floor, knees bent. Slide your hips up to your heels and then come onto your back, arms resting by your side, palms up. Walk your feet out almost as wide as the mat and then bring your knees together. Let your knees rest together and support each other. Inhale, long, slow, deep breath. And exhale, let it go. You can close your eyes if you wish or keep them open, whatever is more comfortable for you. Stay here for a few breaths. Just stay where you are on your back. As you inhale, draw in calm, soothing breath. Exhale, release any tension that does not serve you. No matter what's happening in the world around us, if there's turbulence, violence, anxiety, either in the world around us or even closer to home, if we remember to breathe, be aware of our breath, we can always tap into this calm tranquility that's within us, sometimes deep inside of us. As you lay on your mat, notice that sense of calm, quiet. Notice how it feels within you. As we go through the practice today, I'll invite you to remember to tap into that sense of equanimity. There's a lovely quote. The author is unknown. The quote says, "Peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart." So no matter what's going on around us, we can always tap into that peace if we remember it's always there. So during the challenging poses, I invite you to try to find that peace within you, no matter how hard your body might be resisting from the pose. So as you're on your back, draw your left knee into your chest. If it feels right for you, straighten your right leg and draw that left knee into your chest a little bit more. Breathe into the stretch. And now draw your right knee into your chest and maybe straighten your left leg. You can also keep your left leg bent if that feels better on your body. Draw your right knee into your chest and breathe. And now draw both knees to your chest. Gently rock side to side. If you move your knees away from you, you might get a slightly different massage along your lower back, but it might feel better to hug your knees to your chest tight. And slowly make your way over to your right side and come up to a seated position. Place your hands on the mat behind you and straighten your spine nice and tall. If you can keep this with a straight spine, then just gently bring your knees to your chest. Breathe. Bring your hands to your side, palms facing out. On an inhale, slowly reach your arms up over your head. Turn your palms out, and as you exhale, lower them down. Use the whole exhale to lower your hands. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Again, up. And down. And then one more time. Place your right hand on your left knee. Bring your left hand behind you. On an inhale, straighten your spine, lengthen your spine, and on an exhale, gently twist to the left. And back to center, inhaling, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, bring your right hand behind you, left hand on right knee, and gently twist to the other side. And come on back to center. Uncross your legs, but bring the soles of your feet together. So your knees are wide, feet are together. Try to keep your spine straight. If your back is rounding a lot, place your hands behind you and then pushing the mat, it looks like this from the side, pushing the mat away from you, send your chest forward towards the front without rounding your back. Like this. If it rounds, come up a bit. If you can do so, if you can lean forward while keeping your spine straight, without your hands on your mat, bring your hands to your feet, your ankles. Your legs are more in a diamond shape. Your feet are away from you. And then lean forward. We'll be here for several breaths. If your elbows are anywhere near your knees, push your knees gently away from you. This is a passive stretch. Leaning forward. And now on your next breath, round your back and let your head lower towards your feet. If you have blocks, if you don't have blocks, it's nice to just let your head hang towards your feet. If you do have a block and you want to use it, you can place a block between your feet, either at the tallest setting or lower setting, and then rest your head on the block. And you may find that that block is more in your way than you like, or it might feel just right for you. Just breathe and let go. Can you allow your body to deepen into the pose a little bit more? Come back to that sense of calm, tranquility. And then slowly come on back up. Bring your knees together and make your way onto tabletop, onto all fours. If you need more padding for your knees, you can either place a blanket or a towel under your knees, or you can roll up the back of your mat for extra padding and put your knees on the doubled up mat. As you inhale, arch your back, lower your chest, your belly towards the mat. Really tilt your pelvis. Look straight ahead. maybe up. As you exhale, round your back, reach your spine towards the ceiling and let your head lower. Inhaling, arch your back. And exhale, round. Just keep going, following the pace of your breath. Next time you come through a flat back, a neutral spine, pause here. Now just stay where you are. I'm just going to turn so you can see what we're doing next. So on an inhale, reach your left arm out to the side and up. As you exhale, lower that left hand, thread it between your right hand and leg, and lower your left shoulder and head right onto the mat. You may find this is plenty of a stretch. If it is, just stay here. Or you have the option to reach the right arm up and rest it behind your left hip. Open that right shoulder up. We'll be here for a couple of breaths. And if your right hand is lifted, lower your right hand to the mat. Come back to tabletop. Now on an inhale, reach your right arm out to the side and up. As you exhale, reach that right hand between your left hand and knee and lower your right shoulder and right side of your face on the mat. Just breathe into the stretch, either staying here or reaching the left arm up and resting it beside your right hip. And now lower your left hand back down to the mat and come to tabletop. From here, just come up onto your knees. Straighten your left leg out to the side and press your left foot flat onto the mat. Place your left hand and rest it on the outside of your left leg. Turn your right palm out. On an inhale, reach your right arm up and reach your right arm up over your head and slide your left hand down your left leg. Draw your right elbow back. And then slowly lower your right hand to the mat, and on an inhale, reach your left arm up over your head. Just breathe. Find that inner sense of calm within you. And then lower your left hand to the mat and come on back up. Lower your left knee to the mat and now straighten your right leg out to the side. Right foot is flat on the mat, pointing straight ahead. Right hand just rests on your right leg. Turn your left palm out. On an inhale, reach your left arm up over your head and reach it over to the right side, sliding your right hand down your right leg. Draw your left shoulder back and breathe into the stretch. Notice where your body might enjoy a nice stretch here. And then come on back to center and lower your right knee to the mat. Come on to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes and walk your feet forward to your hands. Keep your knees bent as much as you need to keep your spine straight, and fold forward. If your hands reach the mat, you can place them there. If they don't and you have a block, you can place your hands on the block. Or you might feel good to let your hands dangle. Or cross your arms. Or you can rest your forearms on your thighs. This protects your lower back if you have issues with down near the sacrum. Just keep your spine straight in any version of this fold. If it's available to you without rounding your back, straighten your legs. If your spine starts to round, keep your knees bent. Couple more breaths. On an inhale, come halfway up. Have a nice flat back. Hands land on your legs wherever they land. Exhale, fold forward. On your next inhale, reach your arms out to the side. Come all the way to standing. Reach your arms up over your head. Palms together at your heart. And release. Turn and face the front of the mat. On an inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Take your feet slightly wider than hip distance apart. With your left hand, hold on to your right wrist. Reach your right fingers up towards the ceiling. Let your hips roll to the right. Bring your hands to the left. And breathe. Have the weight evenly distributed between your left and right foot. Draw that right shoulder back. Back to center and switch sides. With your right hand, hold your left wrist. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Letting your hips roll to the left, bring your hands to the right. And breathe. Can you find that inner calm within you? The equanimity. Come back to center. Release your hands. Coming to the front of your mat, if you're using blocks, have them handy. And step your right foot straight back behind you. Place your hands on hips, bend your left knee. Maybe deepen the lunge. Lower both hands to the mat on either side of the left foot and slide your right foot back as far as you can. Now lower that right knee to the mat. If you need extra padding, you can place the towel or blanket under your knee, or you can roll up your mat, double up your mat. Whatever feels best for you. If you have blocks and it's more comfortable, you can keep your hands on blocks. We're going to be here for a few breaths. This may feel comfortable at first, but it's not always an easy pose. So try to tap into that serenity, that equanimity, even if it's getting challenging and you want to come out. Can you let your hips come forward just a touch more? And now place your hands on your hips, still reaching your hips forward. On an inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Breathe. Lower both hands to the inside of the left foot. So it will look like this from the front. Hug that left knee to the left shoulder. Don't let the knee come out. If you have blocks, you can place your hands on the blocks, but or you can have your hands on the floor. And now send both hips forward. And from here, lower your chest, bend your elbows, lower your chest towards the mat. Either placing your forearms on the block or just keeping your elbows bent, or maybe your forearms finding the floor. Hug that left knee to the left shoulder, press into the big toe mound, and breathe. Can you let go a little bit more? And then come onto your hands. And now from here, staying right where you are, lift the big toe up off the mat, roll onto the baby toe side of the foot. So it looks like this. The knee goes out to the left knee goes out to the left. Pivot on the heel, lift the toes up, turn them out, and let them go. So it looks like this from the side. And now bend your elbows, lower your chest towards the mat, maybe using blocks. Forearms can go in blocks, maybe you find the floor. And breathe into the stretch. One more breath. And place your hands on the mat. Lower your foot to the mat, bring the knee back in towards the shoulder. And then place your hands on your hips and still send your hips forward. So from the side, this pose looks like this. We're going to bring our hands to our chest and lean forward. Now twist to the left. From the side, it looks like this. Twist to the left. Right elbow crosses the outside of the left knee. And then twist and look behind you. Still sending the hips forward. Breathe into the stretch. Can you let your hips come forward a little bit more? Back to center. Place both hands on the mat. Step your left foot knee back to meet your right, so you're back in tabletop. Point your toes and lower your hips to your heels. Reach your arms forward, possibly letting your forehead rest on the mat. If this is not comfortable for your knees, you can either avoid child's pose altogether, or if you roll up a thin towel between your knees, it sometimes is a little easier at your knees. And now lift your hips up over your heels, and now step your right foot forward to the front of the mat. Foot is on either, in the middle of your hands. Send both hips forward. Keep in mind, you want your right knee above or behind the ankle. If your right knee is passing your ankle like this, walk your left knee back. And you have the option to double up the mat. And breathe. Send both hips forward. Place your hands on your hips and send both hips forward. Really try to let your hips stretch towards the front. Press into all four corners of that right foot. Weight evenly distributed between your big toe and baby toe. Inhaling, reach your arms up over your head. Lower both hands to the inside of the right foot. So from the front it looks like this. Hug that right knee to the right shoulder. Press into the big toe mound. Send your hips forward, either staying here or bend your elbows, lowering your shoulders towards the mat. Option to rest your forearms on a block, or maybe the mat. Just really hug that right knee to the right shoulder. And breathe. Can you lower your shoulders any more? Try to find that calm within you, even if this is a challenging pose. Place your hands on the mat, and now lift your toes up off the mat. I'll come back so you can see me. Turn your toes out, lower your foot to the mat, roll right onto the baby toe side so the big toes are right off the mat. And then send your hips forward. Hopefully you can see. So from the side, it looks like this. And now lower your shoulders towards the mat, either coming onto your forearms or just bending your elbows or resting your forearms on a block. And breathe. Can you let go a little bit more? Tap into the serenity within you. Place both hands on the mat. Lower your whole foot back to the mat and straighten your right foot so it's parallel to the length of the mat. Each hand on either side of the right foot. Tuck your left toes under. Lift your left knee up off the mat. And just bring your left foot out to the left a little bit to balance your weight on both feet. Look straight ahead, and on an inhale, reach your arms up over the head, maybe deepening the lunge. Left hip forward, right hip back, and breathe. Option to straighten the left leg. Lower both hands to the mat and step the left foot forward beside the right and fold forward. Bend your knees as much as you need to straighten your spine, and let go. Can you relax in this nice forward fold? Maybe straightening each leg if that's right for you. Inhaling, arms out to the side, come all the way to standing. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart and release. Turn and face the side of your mat and take your feet nice and wide. Have your feet parallel to each other. Press into the mat with both your big toes and baby toes so your feet are flat. Weight is evenly distributed across the feet. Place your hands on your hips. Lengthen your spine on an inhale. Keep your spine straight. If you need to, bend your knees ever so slightly. As you exhale, come forward. So it looks like this from the side. Spine straight. Even keep your head in line with the rest of your spine. And breathe here. And on your next exhale, fold forward a little deeper, placing your hands on the mat or blocks, and let your head go. Or if you prefer, cross your arms and let your elbows dangle. Breathe. Feet stay flat on the floor. Place your hands on your hips and slowly come on up to standing. Release your arms. Pivot on your right heel. Turn your right toes out towards so your right foot is parallel to the length of the mat. Place your hands on your hips. Open your left shoulder back so you're facing the side. Bring your arms out to the side, palms facing forward. Reach forward with your right hands. Keep space in that right side. So you're just hinging at the hips. Go as far as you can, and then let your right arm come down somewhere near your right leg and lift your left arm up. Find your breath. Slowly come on up to standing and lower your arms. Pivot on your right heel and bring your right toes in. Now pivot on your left heel and turn the other way. So now your right foot is looking straight ahead. Left foot is parallel to the length of your mat. Bring your arms out to the side, palms facing forward. Reach forward with your left hand. Keep space in that left side. When you've gone as far as you can, let your left arm lower and reach your right arm up. Open that right shoulder so your shoulders are stacked. They're vertical. And breathe in Trikonasana. One more breath. And come on up to standing and lower your arms. Pivot on your left heel and bring your feet together. So for this next pose, if you have blocks, keep them somewhere near the front of your mat. If you don't have blocks, your hands will stay on your hips or maybe reach the mat. So come to the front of your mat, feet hip distance apart and feet parallel to each other. Step your right foot straight back behind you. Pivot on the toes and bring the heels in so the toes are pointing out at a 45-degree angle, the right toes. Hands on hips, straighten your left leg and draw your left hip back, right hip forward and face the front of your mat. So legs are straight, but knees are not locked. Engage the muscles in your quads, your thighs. On an inhale, reach the crown of your head towards the ceiling. As you exhale, lead with your chest. Keep your spine straight and fold forward. As soon as your back starts to round, come up till your back is straight. Draw that left hip back again, bring the right hip forward. Fold forward a little bit more. You can keep your hands on your hips, or you can place your hands on the mat if you can do so without rounding your back, or if you have blocks, place your hands on the blocks. Legs, spine are straight. Any option, any version that's right for you. This is pyramid pose, Parsvattanasana. If you're using blocks, you can adjust the height to whatever height supports your practice. Think about leading with the chest. Now bend your left knee and step your right foot forward to meet your left. Inhaling, lift your arms up over your head as you come to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. And release your arms. And now bring your feet hip distance apart again. And now step your left foot back behind you. Pivot on the toes and bring the left heel in so the toes are pointing out at a 45-degree angle so that it's not straight ahead. Heel is in. Right foot is pointing straight ahead. Straighten the right leg. Place your hands on your hips and draw your right hip back. Left hip forward. Your torso, your chest, your shoulders are all facing forward. Inhale. Lengthen your spine. As you exhale, You're just hinging at the hips. You keep your spine straight. Imagine you cannot move your spine. On an exhale, lead forward with your chest. Keep that right hip coming back, left hip forward. And as soon as your spine starts to round, come up and stop when you can go as far as you can without rounding your spine. And breathe. Option here to keep your hands on your hips as you invite your chest forward. Or place your hands on the mat if you can do so without rounding your back, or on blocks at whatever height is right for you. If you don't have blocks and your hands don't reach the ground, hands on hips. Use your breath to support the pose. And by that I mean with every exhale, see if you can release your body a little deeper. But as you inhale, take stock of where you are. Maybe you've gone as far as you can. Breathe. Bend your right knee and step your left foot forward to meet your right. And fold. Bend your knees if you need to straighten your spine. Hands can rest on the mat or cross the arms. Maybe you straighten your legs. As you inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Make your way up to standing. Lift your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And release. Inhaling, reach your arms up over your head. Exhaling, fold forward. On an inhale, come halfway up. Nice flat back. As you exhale, lead with your chest and fold. Inhale your arms out to the side. Come all the way to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. And release. Turn and face your side of your mat, and take your feet nice and wide. Now pivot on your toes and bring your heels in so your toes are pointing out. Knees will bend. From here, bring your arms into an L-shaped position. Elbows are about the same height as your shoulders, palms facing each other. Now bend your knees. Nice straight spine. Shoulders back. Find your breath. Toes are soft. Maybe sit deeply. Sit deeper. You can even engage your abdominal muscles to help keep your spine straight. If your quads are getting tired, tap into that equanimity. Find your breath. This too shall pass, as they say. And straighten your legs and lower your arms. Pivot on your toes and take your heels wide, so now your feet are parallel to each other in a wide stance. On an inhale, lengthen your spine with your hands on your hips. As you exhale, lead forward. Lead with your chest, spine straight. And then on your next exhale, fold a little more deeply, placing your hands on the mat or blocks or crossing your arms. Take a couple of nice deep cleansing breaths here. Place your hands on your hips and come on up to standing again, and then walk your feet together. Place the sole of your right foot firmly on the mat. Right knee is slightly bent. Place your hands on your hips. Come onto the toes of your left foot and turn your left knee out to the side. Slide the sole of your left foot to your right ankle. Look at a spot either on the floor or the wall in front of you, something that does not move, an object that does not move that you can focus in on. And focus your gaze there. Option to stay here or bring the sole of your left foot and press it into your right calf. Or place the sole of the left foot, if you can balance. I seem to be challenged that way today. Or you can place the sole of the left foot into the right inner thigh, but avoid the knee. Either stay here in any version of the pose. Option to bring your hands to your heart, or maybe reach your arms up over your head. Focus your gaze. Find equanimity if the pose is not working for you. Breathe. Lower your arms and release your foot. Now press the sole of your left foot, left knee slightly bent, hands on hips, come onto the toes of your right foot. Turn your right knee out to the side and bring the sole of your right foot to your left ankle. Maybe this side will be better. Maybe it won't. But just find the calm, the stillness within. Be okay with whatever is. Either staying here, placing the sole of the left foot, pressing it into the right calf or inner thigh, but avoid the knee. Hands can stay on your hips. They can come to your heart. Or you can reach your arms up over your head. And breathe. If you come out of the pose, just try again. And lower your arms and lower that foot to the mat. Inhaling, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees and come to a seated position. And then come right onto your back. Cross your right knee completely over your left. Lift both feet up off the mat and take your feet away from each other. So from the front, the pose, you've crossed your legs, lift your feet up, and now with each hand, grab the ankle nearest to it on that side. Keep your feet flexed and pull the feet towards you. If your hands are nowhere near your ankles, if you have two straps, take a strap around each ankle and pull the strap towards you, thereby pulling your ankle towards you with your strap. Find your breath. Can you pull your feet any closer to you? And then release your ankles, uncross your legs, bring the soles of your feet together. Place your hands inside your knees are wide. Grab the outside of your feet or your ankles and pull your feet towards you. And with your elbows, push your knees away from you. Keeping your spine flat on the back, flat on the mat. Release your feet and lower both of them to the mat. And now cross your left knee over your right. keep your knees as close together as you can, crossing your left knee as much as possible. And now lift your right foot up off the mat. Move your feet away from each other like we did on the other side. And with your hands, grab your ankles or the straps around your ankles and pull your feet towards you. Keep your feet flexed. So they're not pointed, but keep them flexed. And breathe. Find your breath. Release your ankles. Lower both feet to the mat. And then come on up to a seated position. Straighten your right leg. And bring the sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh. Open your left knee away from you. Now turn and face that left knee. Place your left hand on the mat behind you. Roll onto the left knee and lift your hips up off the mat and reach your right arm up and back behind you. Stretch. Lower your hips back down. And now keep the sole of the left foot facing your right leg. And now twist and face your right leg. Check in with your right foot. You want your toes pointing straight towards the ceiling. Your body is facing your right foot. Left hand draped to the outside. Inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, send your chest forward towards your toes. Try to keep that right knee pressed into the mat, and you can walk your hands forward. Breathe into this. Then come on back up and straighten your left leg and bring the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh. Place your right hand on the mat behind you. Roll onto the right knee. Lift your hips up right off the mat and reach your left arm up and back behind you. Breathe. And gently lower back down to the mat. Keeping that sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Turn and face your torso so it's facing your left leg. Left knee pressed into the mat. Walk your hands forward, walking your chest, sending your chest towards your toes. Flex those toes towards you. With every exhale, offer your body to deepen into the pose. And walk your hands back up. Place the sole of your right foot flat on the mat. And I'll just show you from the other side. Cross your right foot and place it on the mat. Bring your left hand on the mat behind you. With your right arm, reach over and grab your right ankle. On an inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, twist to the left. Come on back to center. Straighten your right leg and bend your left leg, left foot flat on the mat. Cross your left foot over your right. Bring your right hand on the mat behind you. Reach your left arm up over your knee and grab the arch or the ankle. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, gently twist to the right. Come on back to center. Keeping your right leg straight, open your left knee so your left ankle is resting on your right thigh. Keep that left foot flexed. Make sure it's not pointed. Keep your hands behind you. And then with your hands, push your chest forward. For a deeper stretch, bend your right knee, place the sole of your right foot on the mat, and then send your chest forward towards your knees. Open that left knee away from you. This may be plenty, or you can bring that right foot even closer to you. Breathe. And now straighten the right leg. Straighten both legs, and now bring the right ankle and place it on your left thigh. Right foot, keep both feet flexed really, but especially the foot with the bent knee. With your hands, push your chest forward, and now bend your left leg, left foot flat on the mat, and push your chest forward. Push that right knee away from you. Maybe bring that left foot even in closer for a deeper stretch. Find your breath. Can you let go a little bit more? Tap into that peace, that calm within you. And then straighten both legs. And from here, come onto your back and gently hug your knees together. Rock side to side. And now circle your knees. And then circle them in the other direction. And come back to center. Bend your knees and have the soles of your feet facing the ceiling. Knees are bent. Bring your knees out to your shoulders. Take your arms and bring them to the inside of your knees. And then reach up towards your feet and grab the outside of your feet. So elbows are inside your knees. Feet are holding onto the outside of your feet. Hands are holding onto the outside of your feet. And from here, rock side to side. And release your feet. Place both feet on the mat. Place your arms on the mat out away from your body, so out in a T position. Slide your hips over to the right a little bit. You can bring your feet together. Roll your knees to the left. And now turn your head and face your right arm. If it's comfortable for you, you can close your eyes here. If you prefer, you can leave them open. Gently bring your knees to center, feet on the mat. Slide your hips over to the left. And gently let your knees roll to the right. And now turn and look over your left arm. Eyes open or closed, or a soft gaze. Slowly bring your knees and head back to center. And we will get ready for Shavasana. So if you'd like a blanket or a sweater or an eye pillow, get whatever you need. And just lay on your mat With your arms resting gently on the mat, palms up, and straighten your legs. Find your breath. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes here. Let the weight of your body melt into the mat. Can you let go and find yourself fully resting at peace? Enjoy the quiet. Peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of these things and still be calm in your heart. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers. Move your arms. Gently move your toes, your feet, your legs. Maybe stretching your arms up over your head. Give yourself a full stretch, stretching your entire body. And then when you're ready, just gently hug your knees to your chest. When you're ready, slowly roll over to your right side. If your eyes are still closed, you can keep them closed for a little longer, or you can open them. Whatever's right for you. And when you're ready, come on up to a seated position. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.